ट्रेड्स उन्होंने पहला तो नजर आने शुरू हो जाते हैं। मैंने एक दिन कहता चल यार बैंक चल रही है, मैं रेफ्रिजरेटर खरीदने की लोन लेना है। मैं मेरे अपने फादर बैंक से गया इनू कि लोन कितने मिल जाएगा रेफ्रिजरेटर खरीदने लिए? नहीं मिलेगा। चल सो साढ़े बैंक की जी इतने कैंपस के अंदर भी ब्रांच के उत्ते चले गए। सो जाके मैनेजर साहब ने कहता साहब मेरे पास लोन चाहिए। तो बैंक मैनेजर साहब हो गया साहब कि दौड़ जाओ तो कोई लोन नहीं मिलता है, ऐसे काम हमसे थोड़ी कोई लोन होता है। तो Robin Rana stayed put there. नहीं जी लोन तो चाहिए and he was ready with all the salvos he had in favor of his argument. So 5 मिनट बाद बैंक मैनेजर साहब कह दिए मेरे बाप कितना चाहिए मुझे दसो। So लोन तो खैर उन्हें लेना नहीं चाहिए। So he came out. ते मैं उनको यार कमाल करता तो वही रेफ्रिजरेटर खरीदने लगा लोन मिलता नहीं तो वही बैंक मैनेजर साहब ने राजी कर लिया। तो अपनी थोड़ा नक वाली आवाज बोल रहा है अरे ये तो कुछ भी नहीं, 10th में मैंने भैंस खरीदने के लिए भी लोन दिया था। तो दैट इज रॉबिन रैना। एंड ऑफ कोर्स जो मैकेनिकल की गल होगी तो अंकुश अरोड़ा की गल जरूर होनी चाहिए। ही वाज आई थिंक द मोस्ट पॉपुलर स्टूडेंट इन आवर बैच। साडा डेफिनेटली वो नवाब सीगा। कॉलेज में जो एटलीस्ट साढ़े फर्स्ट में जो 3-4 ही मोटरसाइकिल होंगे थे तो वह मोटरसाइकिल तो हमेशा पब्लिक प्रॉपर्टी होंगे थे। कभी उन्हें किसी को भी ना नहीं बोलिया मोटरसाइकिल नहीं देना, किसी को कभी कोई हेल्प चाहिए हो वो हमेशा रेडी मिल जाएगा। तो बहुत स्पेशल आदमी है। इट इज अनफॉर्चुनेट फॉर ऑल ऑफ अस दैट ही कुड नॉट मेक इट टुडे ड्यू टू सम अर्जेंट एंगेजमेंट, बट अ वेरी स्पेशल गाय। What else? मैं प्रोफेसर साहब बैठे हैं नैयर साहब इन्होंने बारे की गल जरूर कहना चाहूँगा। ये बहुत दिल नाल पढ़ाते थे। ही टॉट अस मैथ्स को ते जिवें आदत होंदी है प्रॉक्सी लगाने की सब दा अपना स्टाइल सीगा। एक पेपर देंदे सीगे एंड एवरीबॉडी वाज सपोज्ड टू साइन ऑन इट। सो सारे साइन करते सीगे। बहुत बंदे अपने आप स्मार्ट समझते थे कि मैं वही प्रॉक्सी लाती मैं वही लाती। प्रोफेसर साहब ने पूरा टाइम देखा तो जो सेमेस्टर खत्म होने लगा एक एक खड़े करके इन्होंने सब दसता तू यही लगाई सी तू यही लगाई सी तू यही लगाई सी। तो असं अपन बचकानियां हरकतां करते रहे, इन्होंने सब पता होंदा सीगा, इग्नोर करते सीगे, समझते भी सीगे कि बच्चे चलो है हरकतां करते हैं। सो लास्ट एक चीज नाल फिनिश करना चाहांगा कि हॉस्टल की गल है। साडा एक स्टेट चल रही थी जिहदे विच एक स्टूडेंट गॉड नूं कुछ क्वेश्चन पूछे। फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन, ओ गॉड व्हेन विल आई गेट अ गर्लफ्रेंड? गॉड रिप्लाइज, नॉट इन योर लाइफ टाइम सन। सेकंड क्वेश्चन, ओ गॉड व्हेन विल दिस कॉलेज रीच द स्टैंडर्ड ऑफ IIT? The drop side, even God is thinking. Then he says, not in my lifetime, son. But today, after looking at the progress this college has made, I am proud to say that that time is going to come soon. So let us have 3 cheers for the college. Hip hip! Hip hip! Hip hip! And in the end, just 2 lines of a song which is appropriate for the moment. I am not a very good singer, so excuse me if I commit any mistake. यादों की बारात निकली है आज दिल के द्वारे, सपनों की शहनाई बीते दिनों को पुकारे। ओ छेड़ो तराने मिलन के प्यारे प्यारे संग हमारे।
Hello friends, Professor Nair, honorable teachers, and all the friends who gathered over here. Earlier in the day, we remember we had like a 1-minute silence to remember our friends and teachers who are no longer with us. In that continuation of that theme, I'd like to read out a letter from Dr. Mrs. Professor Nunn, and it goes like this. Dear students, we all strive hard through years to build respect, credibility, and leave a legacy behind so that people remember us with fondness when we are no longer a part of this beautiful world. A very few of us will leave that imprint on someone's mind or even get to know how valued we were. I always knew that my husband, Dr. Anand, was a popular teacher, but never knew he was so deeply revered and loved by his students until after his demise. After he left for the heavenly abode, many of you took the pains to reach out to the grieving family to extend emotional and financial support, for which I do not have enough words to express my gratitude with. Many years of prolonged treatment and running from one hospital to the other had left our family emotionally and financially drained and bruised. The struggle for me and my children was equally hard after his demise. However, during this phase, I received many calls and letters from his students which imparted us strength to fight the adversity. As you remember Dr. Anand today, I would take this opportunity to thank many students whose names I have actually forgotten. Please pardon me for the same, from the bottom of my heart, for supporting our family during the time of deep grief and loss. The love and support extended by you during those tremendously difficult times is greatly appreciated. Dr. Anand was a highly principled and upright man with high moral values and immense strength of will and character. He worshipped work and was extremely versatile, innovative, and had thinking far ahead of his time. He was a generous man and believed in serving his country, and decided to come back to India after being in America for several years. He was a Purdue alumni. Sudeep Sreen's and Natty Sreen's son is going there and Professor Anand's footsteps. He was truly a genius of his own kind. He left a vacuum which can never be filled, but life has to move on. With your kind wishes and support, his family has surpassed the hardest times, and I'm glad to share that we all have eventually settled well. I'm currently working as an associate professor in the Department of Biotechnology, Upper University, and doing well professionally. Our elder daughter, Shahnaz, is employed as an HR manager and married to an engineer, both settled in Gurgaon. My son, Saurabh, is in Perth, Australia, working with a real estate firm, and is also continuing with his studies on the side. At the end, I would like to say that Dr. Anand's true legacy is the love of his students have for him even after 14 years of his demise. A person lives as long as his loved ones hold his or memory fondly in their hearts. Death ends a life, not a relationship, and I'm certain he blesses you all from wherever he is. I hope you all will continue to spread the goodness around and join hands to support family, friends, acquaintances, and others wherever required, just the way many of you did for us. This is the most valuable gift we can leave for the world we live in, and that's what your beloved teacher firmly believed in. I wish you all personal and professional success in life, and once again, a big thanks from the entire family for standing by and making a difference in our lives. Wish you all a very happy New Year 2015. Regards, Dr. Manju Anand.
All right. This is good afternoon, right? Yes. So, dear friends, ladies and gentlemen, when Ajay invited me, you all know whom I mean, Ajay Batish. He invited me, he did two mistakes. Number one, he invited me for the speech. And number two, I asked him how much time I have. He said, you take as much as you want. It is second mistake. You know, this is really great that I got this opportunity. I want to start with my story of the last 18 months. I'm relatively new to Thapar University. I started about 1.5 years back. I promise you that I won't take that much time, but I just want to tell you my story here at Thapar University. You know, when I started interviewing for this job, everybody looked very professional. I thought, I knew Thapar University. Thapar University has a good brand, name. Everybody recognized. I was considering to return back to India, so this was an opportunity. I considered. I started talking with people. Everybody looked very professional. That is typically it is like a marriage proposal. When you start talking, everybody looks very objective, very professional. Once you really start working, this is the reality of life. It's a mixture of professionalism, emotion, and human limitations and everything. So the most interesting thing as the head of LM Thapar School of Management, I have realized is something very interesting, and probably that is very special to our country, India. Every time someone comes to my office, typical situation is something like this. In the sense that this person, whether it is a faculty, student or staff, coming into my office telling me what somebody else should be doing. You understand? As if this person is doing everything right. If others can do what they should be doing, everything will be good and happy. So my response is exactly this. Now I will get into my story. Here's a picture. I don't think any of you would recognize this place. This is the front gate of Tokyo University. It's not a glamorous kind of gate. They have a very old, interesting gate. But this is today the main gate. You know what that guy is doing? He is the one and only security officer manning the gate. You know what he's doing now? He's sweeping. So this is Japan. What happens in India? When something is, this floor is dirty, if that should be clean, interestingly, we would at least get 5 people. If it is my office, if I happen to call somebody, he or she will call somebody else, and finally, an old man who cannot even stand up would slowly come and sweep the floor. There are at least 3 or 4 people looking over this person. This is what really happened. Now, see, I'm the head of the business school. I'm called the director. But please remember, I want to tell you that these positions like director, manager, CEO, VP, all these positions are transient. Somebody is giving it to you. I consider myself as a teacher. And being a teacher, nobody can give it to you, or nobody can take it away from you. So I'm a teacher, but now I happen to be heading the business school. How many of you know that we have a new campus? All right, we have a new campus near Chandigarh. It's about 20 kilometers from Chandigarh. It's about 40 minutes drive. We have this new campus. We have created that new campus to be a world-class campus. then I started wondering, what is this world class? What are we really trying to say here? I looked at Wikipedia, typically, all of us would do, and looked at what is world class, what is best practice. So this is the kind of Wikipedia definition I got. And what I'm really thinking, it is not really about creating something absolutely superior. It is about creating something useful. And world-class practices are also dynamic, and we should definitely be looking at something useful than being superior. Now, so something about our business school. We want to be a very unique school. We want to be inclusive. We want to be ethical. We want to be entrepreneurial, and we want to be sustainable. Do you know how many business schools are today in India? There are about 3,000 plus business schools here today. But one out of these 3,000 plus business schools, we want to be a different kind of business school, not typically telling the same thing. You remember, one of you talked about, when will Thapar University reach the status of IIT? With due respect and humility, I'm telling you, that is a wrong question. One of the problems we have, we benchmark. If we benchmark, we can only run behind that benchmark. I think we should stop benchmarking and start imagining, start dreaming, so that we can overtake and run past that. So let's stop benchmarking IITs. Let's be the best engineering university in India. So the same way as business school, if we start benchmarking IIMs, we will only become a second-rate IIM. So we want to be a different kind of business school. How do we plan to do it? So we want definitely to give the best experience to our students. We want to enrich faculty, we want to be corporate relevant, and we want to engage the community. Here is the story I want to tell you. I'll take 5 more minutes to tell you the story. So we are at Devabasi, and if you Google and see, probably what you see around our business school should be something like this. But in reality, this is not what we see around our business school. What we see around our business school is a lot of factories, a lot of smoke, a lot of air pollution. We can see here. This is what we actually see around the business school. But interestingly, this business school is situated in a very vibrant village, about 200 plus small and medium-sized enterprises. Unfortunately, the air and water quality is poor. 99% of the villages earn less than $2 per day. This is where we are. As the head of the business school, I was quite frustrated. What will I do at a place where, we have created a world-class infrastructure, and we want to develop one of the most unique business schools, but this is the constraint we are in. So the question is, how can we come out of this situation as someone trying to build a school? So my explicit and implicit assumptions were, current air and water quality is bad for our students, about 200 plus of them. People who built the business school at that location might have made a terrible mistake. Almost impossible to deal with this 200 plus small and medium-sized enterprises. Small companies do not have enough funds available for meeting clean air and water standard. Regulators are ineffective. So these were my assumptions. My question was, what can we do now? The answer is, do whatever in our control. Just think about it. Whenever we ask a question in our life, in our professional life or personal life, we always have, whether we explicitly state or implicitly know it, we always have assumptions. Based on these assumptions, we frame our questions, and typically how we frame, we would have an answer. But unfortunately, the result is frustration and disappointment. If we ask this kind of a question, we can do very little. You see, what we try to do, we make all buildings airtight, filter intake air, construct a bio-wall, enclosed walkways. All of these will make the campus air quality slightly better, about 10% of improvement. What have we done? We have reframed our question. We have reframed our issue. We changed our assumptions. So now, current air and water quality is not only bad for our 300 plus students and faculty, but it is also bad for 20,000 villagers. You see, we changed our assumptions. Small companies have the potential to meet air and water quality standards. Partnering with regulators and other government agencies is key. And question, how can we engage all stakeholders to find a useful solution? The answer is helping through social entrepreneurship, and result is pride, excitement, and sense of accomplishment. So what has happened? Started with a lot of frustration and dissatisfaction. As soon as we reframed our question, changed from what can we do for our 200 plus students to what can we do for 20,000 villagers, situation has completely changed. What we are trying to do is helping companies save money through process improvement, improved strategy and tactics. As a business school, we are providing this service free. We are helping companies with carbon credit. We are lobbying with the government to reward good companies with tax credit. We are also instilling sustainability practices in the community. And we have established 2 new centers, a venture lab, an incubation center, and a strategy, sustainability, and society center. We expect all these things will make the village air quality appreciably better. So this is the story I want to tell you. Why should I tell you this story in a gathering like this? I'm requesting and I'm begging help from everybody, not only every Indian, everyone in the world. I'm telling this story all over the world. I have enlisted many interesting people. In fact, the past Prime Minister of Finland came to me and said, I'm willing to come and visit your place, and I'm willing to join your effort to clean the air of that village. You know, especially these developed countries have a special interest. If they can help and clean the air and help our companies to be carbon neutral, or if they can really practice clean air standards, these countries can buy carbon credit from our SMEs. So this is the reason why I want to tell you. I want to ask your help, and also, so I want to let me skip. How do we try to do it as a business school? It is not just a charity. We want to develop